He lost his keys again. I used to visit my grandfather every summer. The store was closed the day we went. He did not save money, so he could not afford to buy a house. They dated for years before deciding to get married. The pink dress suits you better than the yellow one. The movie was shot in Hollywood. He is more responsible than his younger brother. The food was cooked by a professional chef. He has to finish his homework before he goes out. We have lived in this city for 5 years. They are grateful for your help. She hopes to become a successful writer. Sometimes he forgets his umbrella. The letter was handwritten. The mistake was admitted by himself. May I have your permission to leave early? He had not been able to find his passport before his trip. He wakes up at sunrise. Although it is far, we decided to walk to the park. If you watered the plants, they wouldn't die. We want to improve our English speaking skills. I just finished reading a great book. We are excited to start our new business. I wish I had more self-confidence. He hopes to win the lottery one day. Understands the importance of education. He had already prepared dinner when I got home. By the end of this term, he will have graduated from university. He enjoys reading books in his spare time. They lack proper education. They had completed all the tasks on their to-do list. He replaced kitchen appliances with new ones. Does he play basketball? He enjoys reading books in his spare time. Sometimes we have pizza for dinner. I am thinking of starting a new blog. We are chatting in English. The government should invest more in education. Although he disagreed with us, he respected our views. We must always stand behind what we believe in, even if it is difficult. Officers found the missing child in the amusement park. He needs to buy food on the way home. They had known each other for a long time before they got married. By the time they return, we will have prepared dinner. I can relax after finishing your training. Do you like reading books? Coffee spills on the floor. They set up a vegetable garden to grow their own food. He had been attending college for 4 years when he decided to leave. He has to pick up his car for an oil change. Concert tickets are sold out. He read an interesting book yesterday. They appreciate your time and effort. He had been looking for work for months until he was finally hired. He cooked for us yesterday. The movie was shot in Hollywood. Despite the difficulties, they managed to overcome it together. While it is time-consuming, cooking from scratch is healthier. His house is bigger than mine. He did mindfulness meditation to improve focus. They had their cars washed at the car wash. They should have listened to the teacher's instructions. I don't like watching horror movies. I have to cook for my family tonight. Today we feel happy. They had saved enough money to buy a new car. He wrote a poem about love. He did not exercise regularly, so he gained weight. He set up a YouTube channel to share his DIY projects. She wants to learn to paint. We had already bought tickets when the concert was cancelled. He read the newspaper every morning. The house was painted last week. They had a gardener mow and fertilize their lawn. They do not like spicy food. Even if you don't like the taste, you should try this dish. He was supposed to attend the meeting this morning. I wish we had attended the music festival. He wakes up at sunrise. The teacher was teaching the students the lesson. They can invest in real estate. He was already gone when I arrived. He had his car washed at the gas station. They usually go shopping on the weekends. He had his passport renewed at the consulate. I was jogging in the park when I saw my old friend. They said, "We're going to have a party at our house this weekend." They discuss the problem. I have an appointment at 2 in the afternoon. We want to improve our English speaking skills. I'm learning to play the piano. They have traveled to South America before. Despite the long road, they reached their destination safely. He invested all his money in stocks and lost everything as a result. He has already repaired the car. She teaches yoga. "Can you pass the salt, please?" they asked. You must return library books on time. The dog barks loudly. The food prepared by the chef was delicious. She cooked a delicious dinner for her friends. He didn't listen to the instructions, so he made a mistake. I took a nap and felt refreshed as a result. If I were a writer, I would write best-selling novels. He had the dentist check his teeth. We had already finished the project before the presentation. We went to the cinema to watch the last movie. I smell something burning. They were eating when the phone rang. The window was broken by the strong wind. By the end of the quarter, they will have met their sales targets. I've already seen that movie. He was studying medicine at university. The car my brother drives is a sports car. We are excited to meet our new neighbors. He was working on his laptop in the coffee shop. The store opens at 10 o'clock on Sundays. We are excited to see the new movie. See you in a second. He always helps me with my homework. If they had read the book, they would have known the ending. They rarely go to the theater. They should have chosen a different restaurant. He will retire when he turns 60. We usually have lunch at 12. John and Mary got married last month. The store opens at 9 a.m. The exam was more difficult than I anticipated. Do you read book? He lost his job and started looking for a new job. Construction workers had been working on the building for months before it was finally completed. They will be buying a new car soon. We are having a picnic. It rains a lot in this area. We decided to take a walk in the mountains. They are skateboarding in the park. He will play the piano every day. They'll be visiting their grandparents next week. I wish they had saved money for emergencies. He forgot his key at home. The movie was shot on location. He visited friends in another state. Have you ever been to Paris before last year? He had already started his new job when I saw him. He wishes he could find his soulmate. I wish I had spent more time studying for the exam. Does he like chocolate? The book was recommended by a friend. My boss gets angry if I'm late for work. They go to the movies from time to time. He will practice his guitar skills every day. We cleaned the house after the party. We were waiting in line for concert tickets. I wish I didn't eat so much junk food. If we had the ingredients, we could have made a cake. We lived in the same apartment building for years before we decided to buy a house. The children are playing hide and seek. They came at noon. The cat chased a mouse. We had the plumber fix the broken sink. The problem was caused by a misunderstanding. She needs to practice her dance routine for the show. They've already watched the new episode. The magazine published an article on sustainable living. We are watching a football match on TV. He is playing the guitar. I wish I could play the guitar. The problem was discussed at the meeting. The company is improving its customer service. They must ask permission before leaving the classroom. I smell something burning. I was jogging in the park when I saw my old friend. The flowers look beautiful. I missed the bus and was late for the meeting as a result. They signed up for a painting course to explore their creativity. We have already booked our tickets. He likes to read before bed. He got up early to catch the first train. The team is training for the volleyball match. They were watching a football match on TV. We need to exercise regularly for our health. They always go for a walk after dinner. She sang a song at the talent show. It may be late due to traffic. I wish he hadn't missed his flight. They will meet us at the restaurant. The film was nominated for an award. They believe in ghosts. She baked a delicious pie for dessert. He had his phone repaired at the service center. Located on the hill, the house offers a magnificent view. We usually have lunch at 12. We hiked in the mountains. A parking ticket was issued for an illegally parked vehicle. I did not have enough time to study and as a result I did not pass the exam. There is homework tomorrow, said the teacher. I have to take a shower before going to bed. Are you watching a movie in the cinema? The error was repeated several times. You should turn off the lights when you leave the room. The team led by their captain won the championship. We have dinner at 7 p.m. I wish I didn't have to get up early every day. He practiced speaking English every day and as a result, he started speaking fluently. The hungry children ate the cake. They will arrive at the airport in an hour. He was running in the park when he sprained his ankle. The book is longer than I expected. Can be promoted to a higher position. He wishes to go back in time and apologize to someone he hurt. He enjoys watching movies at home. Do you read book? Students write in their notebooks. They practice musical performances. The team is training for the volleyball match. He likes to read before bed. Sarah is more talented than her sister. Have you ever had sushi before going to Japan? Today we feel happy. He will train for a marathon next year. She started a fitness challenge to motivate herself. I missed the bus and was late for the meeting as a result. The company recorded significant growth last year. Although it was difficult, I managed to solve the problem. I wish I had known about the discount earlier. It snows a lot in winter. I had visited that museum many times before. We always take our dog for a walk. I wish he had traveled more when he was younger. We'll have finished our meal by the time they get to the party. If they had studied harder, they would have passed the test. He had already left the country when the news came out. She had her dress changed by a tailor. We went to Paris last summer. We will have a meeting in the afternoon. They will travel to Asia for their holidays. We don't have a cat. He will write a book in the future. The report was printed for the meeting. He took a different route and avoided heavy traffic as a result. Early in the morning the sun rose. If I could, I would start a charity. I am learning to cook different cuisines. They were dancing and having fun at the party. The team had previously won 3 championships. We appreciate your effort. I wish I didn't have to deal with traffic every day. Then we go to the mall. The children were laughing and playing in the park. I wish I had more motivation to exercise regularly. The company should have offered better benefits. They speak Spanish fluently. The movie starts at 7 p.m. I always wear a seatbelt in the car. He forgot to bring his lunch. He is known for his thought-provoking writings on social issues. I came across an interesting article on social media. I don't like spicy food. Friends since childhood. Had they finished their presentation before the meeting began? He did not take care of his health and fell ill as a result. Despite the distance, they maintained a strong friendship. The bridge was built years ago. He is working on a new project. They will work in their garden at the weekend. They want to go skiing in winter. They need urgent help. He loves to go hiking in the mountains. I've been writing reports since morning. He forgot to bring his lunch. His house is cleaner than mine. He is watering the plants in the garden. We will have dinner at a fancy restaurant. I exercise in the evening. They usually have breakfast together. While it is time-consuming, cooking from scratch is healthier. We're throwing a party. I saw a shooting star at night. We always celebrate birthdays with cake. He wishes he could play the piano. She never misses her morning tea. He promised to call me later. He usually takes a taxi to go to work. We want to improve our English speaking skills. He will have completed the course by next week. We are waiting for the bus. Sometimes you go to parties. Even if it's not perfect, it's still a good solution. At the end of the day, they will have finished their homework. The children ate the cake. He was supposed to visit his grandparents last weekend. If only the rain had stopped, we could go for a walk. By the time he graduates, he will have already started his internship. We lived in the same neighborhood for years before we became friends. He had upgraded his phone to the latest model. He couldn't find his favorite shirt. I exercised regularly and lost weight as a result. After the concert, they met the band backstage. We look like our parents. It's getting late. They want to learn to play the guitar. He has been working for the company since 2010. He was reading a book while waiting for the train. By the end of the quarter, they will have met their sales targets. They were eating when the phone rang. He looks excited for the trip. I haven't seen that movie yet, he said. The company should have offered better benefits. Had he studied abroad, he would have learned a new language. He is repairing the car engine. If I had studied harder, I could have passed the exam. The clock is ticking slowly. They had been working together on the research project for months and were finally seeing results. He will study medicine at university. They lack proper education. If it was warmer, we would have gone swimming. It consists of perseverance and hard work. We will be waiting for you at the airport. By the time he gets here, he will already be gone. I had my car washed at the car wash. The car was repaired by the mechanic. The team worked hard all season and was ready for the championship game. The company had its website redesigned by a professional web developer. You never listen to me. They don't play basketball. They are grateful for your help. You should turn off the TV before going to bed. His presentation was better than mine. They envy your success. I would climb Mount Everest if I could. I wish I could turn back time and change my mind. Were they dating for a long time before they decided to break up? They just arrived at the airport. I am thinking of starting a new diet. The children will play football in the park. Traffic in the city is worse than in the countryside. I had been working at the computer for hours when it suddenly crashed and I lost all my progress. He practiced speaking English every day and as a result, he started speaking fluently. They signed up for a coding bootcamp to learn programming. The report has been compiled from various sources. I'll text you later when I'm available. She loves to bake cookies for her family. He has been studying Spanish for 6 months. She rarely puts on makeup. They had their dogs groomed at the pet shop. Had they finished all the tasks before the deadline? We're going for a walk. She will take a yoga class in the evening. They want to volunteer at a local charity. I need to finish writing this report. Despite being a small car, the interior is surprisingly spacious. Sometimes we have pizza for dinner. The problem discussed in class required extensive research. They can go on a world tour. They can be successful entrepreneurs. They had their cats groomed at the pet shop. By the end of the day, they will have solved the puzzle. The student selected for the scholarship was ecstatic. They are planning to adopt a puppy from the shelter. The television program was watched by millions of people. He didn't take the shortcut, so he came late. My teacher told me, "You did well in the exam." He had already left the airport when I came to pick him up. We always celebrate birthdays with cake. The taste of the food prepared by the cook was very good. He likes to play football. They always come late to the party. You should clean your room before you go out. The dog barks loudly. The dog was wagging its tail happily. I missed the flight, so I had to book another one. He was asleep when the alarm clock rang. If only I had listened to my parents' advice, I wouldn't be in this mess. I learned to knit to make my own sweater. He had been playing the violin for hours, so he could play the difficult piece perfectly. Although the results were not as we expected, we learned valuable lessons. He is teaching a class. I can't drive. I don't have a license. They must wear seat belts while driving. You could go out with your friends if you had finished your homework. Blue sky is brighter than gray clouds. He rarely goes to parties. I saved money to buy plane tickets for my vacation. He should have taken the bus instead of walking. Have you finished your book? We had a great time at the party. I rarely drink soda. We have to start studying for the exam. They are enjoying the sunset. Was he working on his novel before he had trouble writing? He usually listens to music before going to sleep. Although it was a difficult task, we managed to complete it. He is playing the piano. We've known about the party for months. He has to call his family to let him know that he's okay. It's on the computer. By the time they arrive, we'll be long gone. If I had a second chance, I would have made different choices. We love traveling to new places.